Now to some weather. Trees snapped in half, downed power lines, and damage to homes after two tornadoes touched down in southern Indiana overnight. The National Weather Service confirms both were EF-0s and produced wind speeds of 70 to 80 miles per hour. One hit Washington County, a second hit Scott County, first tearing through the Lexington Cemetery and then going through town. Luckily, there were no injuries reported. And Chelsea, I know you were keeping a close eye on this last night, really watching these and even going on the air a little bit unexpectedly. So what are your big takeaways from this storm?
Well, we knew that there was a risk for a brief spin-up tornado, and as we were watching it, we were seeing some of that rotation quickly pop up on radar, but just as quickly start to kind of fall apart as well. So that was just kind of the nature of these storms, and that's why we ended up seeing those two tornadoes touch ground. We had that warning in Washington County first, and I want to go over some of those different paths just to give a visual for for everybody to look at. But right now, as you see, those two tornado warnings two tornadoes that touched down north of the river, north of Louisville. As we zoom on in, let's focus on the first one that was in Washington County, north of New Pekin at 10:15 last evening. And as we zoom on in, it took a really brief path, less than 1/10 of a mile. It moved off to the east. It did cause some damage to some trees, a few homes, and also a tree fell onto a truck, causing significant damage. But the second one was also an EF-0 tornado in Scott County. That moved through Lexington. That was at 10:40 p.m. and that was on the ground just a little bit longer. It took that path from Lexington Cemetery and into the town area, and that was about over a half mile, causing significant tree damage, some of those power outages, and also some minor home damage. And the National Weather Service, when they were doing their survey, witnesses told them that they heard a distinct roar in the air. And as Shay mentioned, thankfully, there were no injuries reported with these storms.